3520 Broadway, and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Aiden McDonnell, the president of the Optimist Club. Welcome.
Hi, Ashley.
Good to see you. Good to see you again.
Good to be seen.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. So today we are talking about a couple things pertaining to the Optimist Club.
Yeah.
One, this is your 60th year.
60 years, yep.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
And you're celebrating in style with one of your biggest events, one of the biggest traditions.
That's right. The Quincy Derby.
Yeah.
This
Soapbox.
weekend. Yes.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So now we were talking before we hit go on the cameras, and our very own Steve Eyinger helps. He
That's
helped
right.
to pull some numbers, right? So
He did.
he's pretty involved in the Derby, and he likes the numbers. So he pulled some numbers as far as participation, right?
Yes, I have Steve's official records.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And
Nice.
composite totals to date of total entries we've had over, not including this year, 2,221 racers.
Holy moly.
Over the past 20 years. And this year we'll add an extra 240 racers approximately to that. So 2,400 and change racers have gone through the Quincy Derby.
That is
And
incredible.
It's the 60th year of the club, 20th year of the Saturday Derby, 10th year of the Super Kids Derby, which is on Friday.
Yeah, I love that. So we'll get a little bit more into each of the events in just a minute. But real quickly, because when I was talking to the guys earlier, I was like, I don't know a whole lot about the Derby. I know
Sure.
we did speak
Yep.
a couple years ago,
Yep.
but I was asking questions like, do you have to have your own car?
No,
No. Okay.
you don't have to. Our club actually owns about 100 cars, give or take.
Okay.
And so most of the participants don't own their own car.
Gotcha.
We have sponsors of those cars, and so some of those sponsors might own that car while their kid races, and we just ask that we get that back or purchase that back. So we might sell or lease a car, as we'll call it,
Gotcha.
to those sponsoring businesses. Some businesses just don't want to own it. They don't want to fill it. Hey, just maintain it, and here's my logo on the car.
Right. So then you have a crew that kind of comes out like a pit crew, if you will, that takes care of the cars.
Every Wednesday throughout
Gotcha.
the year, a crew of Optimist members meets. And that's actually what I say is so cool about the races. The race is 2 days, and it's fun and great for the kids. But people don't realize, there's several anonymous volunteers and donors, and they just like being in the background. And they service all these cars year-round, so
Yeah.
on race day, they're good to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, it really is a community.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah, which is very, very cool.
It's
So
what makes Quincy so great.
It is.
It is just so cool to see the effort and grassroots
Yes.
movement to get this thing off the ground. and
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
everybody shows up for one another. I love hearing about it. I'm ashamed to say I've never witnessed it. I know a
Oh.
lot of people who've been involved in it. I know a lot of racers, but for some reason I've always had stuff going on. But it's this
Well,
Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday is the
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Okay.
34 racers this year.
Okay.
This is the most of all time for that race.
Yeah.
And then our Super Kids is Friday. You should definitely come out
Yes.
Friday. And I might ask you after this if you want to be an honorary starter
Okay.
on that day. We'd have an open time slot for you.
Yeah.
But the Friday race is we have 4 races Friday, 9:30, 11:30, 1:30, and 3:30.
Okay.
The largest race we've actually never had over. These are we call them super kids. They're kids with special abilities, as we like to label it. The largest race we've ever had, single race in a time slot, is 22, maybe 25. This year, the Illinois School of the Visually Impaired, Mr. Ken Mansell, former teacher here in town, is bringing 30 kids up from
Wow.
Jacksonville. So we're going to see how this one goes. It's going to be great. Some of these kids, they've been down there all week for a sports week. Many of them can't participate in those sports
Yeah.
or even Special Olympic sports
Okay.
because of their disabilities. And so you're talking visually impaired along with physical impairments. So we're excited because in this race they can compete.
They get
This
to
is
be
the first time
involved.
some of these kids have ever competed at anything.
That's incredible. That's awesome. Now they have kind of buddy drivers. Is that how
Correct.
it works?
And
okay.
that's why they can compete. We
Yes.
can put them in the car.
Yeah.
The buddy system was designed by club members.
Love
and
it.
so there's a slip override on the steering. But these kids get in the car, and a lot of times they're like, last year we heard a kid go, "I get to drive a real car." So for them, it's a real car.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
I love it. So now that is on Friday. And then Saturday. So here's another question. I was noticing that there are different styles of cars,
There are,
right?
Yeah. Good observation.
Yeah, based on their level of skill, maybe, or age, or
typically,
okay,
more specifically height and weight.
Gotcha.
But so for Saturday, the classic division is stock division, and it's a more pointed nose, I'll call it.
Okay.
Then we have super stock, and the weight of that goes up by 25 pounds, and that's a little bit bigger car. It's a rounded nose. And then the master division is actually totally unique. They have to lay down in the car, and so their left line of vision is only about that big.
Oh my gosh!
And their helmet is down to the car body, and they lay down on the chassis. And their steering system is also the brake. So when they're driving, if they need to brake, there's no foot pedal like there are in the other cars. They actually pull back to hit the brake pad down.
Oh my gosh, that's giving me anxiety.
Yeah,
you got to have some skill for that.
You have to have skill, and it's not for the faint of heart. Those kids they're tough kids.
Wouldn't be for me.
Yeah,
I'd screw up and end up.
I would too.
I would wreck totally.
Yeah.
So this Friday and Saturday. Now, how do people? Is it something that you call? I know for the more skilled one, like you call on those people to see if they can race, right?
Hey, you've been in 5 years.
Yeah.
You've been in the super stock division now. You want to level up to the next one. If we can get you in, we only have, I think there's 9 cars competing in that division this year.
Gotcha. But then every other one, do people register for it? How does it work? Okay.
QuincyDerby.com for registration.
Okay.
It's been closed for months now because we filled up very early this year, like
That's
in
awesome.
January. We went out. So we have purchased other races throughout the year. So Rantoul, Illinois, they had a race that closed down. Cut them, paid. We got a very good deal on that. Got all their cars in our inventory. Then this year, a race up in Chicago closed down. So several members drove up, brought back 6 more cars. So our super stock division is 70 racers, and this is double elimination. So working through those brackets, and that's where Steve comes in.
Yeah.
We couldn't even pay, and we went to every bracket place online and said, "Hey, can you get us a 70 bracket double elimination?" They said, "Doesn't exist. We don't want to do it."
Wow.
So we're custom bracketing this year, and Steve has always done that.
That a kid, Steve. Yes, that's awesome. So it's been closed, but people should still come out and watch, right? Come spectate, come support the kids, come support the Optimist Club.
Correct.
So how many years is this again? 20?
20 years.
Holy moly.
The Saturday race.
That's outstanding. So now the proceeds, because I assume it's not free. Is it free to register? How does that work?
We ask for $65 to register. Sponsors a different thing.
Okay.
But yeah, if a kid wants to raise $65, a lot of our sponsors help scholarship kids. So if money's an issue, don't just let us know. We'll get that taken care of.
Yeah, excellent. And I assume, speaking of sponsors, I assume you have just a plethora of sponsors.
Yeah, it's really grown quite a bit, and we've been focusing really this year on sponsor value and how we do that, and of course signage, our website, things like that, or how we promote that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I love the event. I love that you're celebrating your 60th anniversary in style.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that it's going to be amazing, and with a turnout like this, it's going to be incrable.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the trash cans around town that you see with the panels.
Yes.
That is the Optimist Club as well.
Okay.
So we use that. We promote advertising through that, but we're trying to keep Quincy streets clean is really our deal there. So those line, Main Street, Broadway.
Yeah.
We have a territory of that. So that's part of the Optimist Club. We also do golf outings and scholarships. So
excellent.
This is just one weekend of the many things we're doing.
Sure.
But it's important.
Absolutely. So real quick, before we wrap it up, the Optimist Club, people may not know what your vision or what your mission is. Can you give us the skinny on it?
Yeah, our mission is Friend of Youth. There's several other youth volunteer organizations. Ours is Friend of Youth for a Brighter Tomorrow. It was founded in St. Louis. That's the international headquarters. So this year we're actually having the international president and vice presidents coming up to witness the Derby this year.
Cool.
But it was founded in 1964. There's too many names to mention of original founders, but a lot of local business leaders. And then, like every service organization, we've had our recruitment challenges lately.
Sure.
And we're hoping to turn that around. But our membership is up year over year, and so we're focusing on that and staying positive there.
Excellent. Now, if people want to learn more about the Optimist Club or the Derby or how to sponsor or how to get involved, where would they go?
Great question. Quincy Facebook. the Quincy Derby has a page, and the Optimist Club of Quincy. And then the Optimist Club of Quincy has a website. And so reach out to us on there, especially, come out on race day, see what we do for the kids there. Yeah. That's usually a big motivator to get people to join. Friday for the Super Kids race, the 4 races I mentioned, 9:30, 11:30, 1:30, 3:30. We're trying to get a cheer squad for all these super kids. So
let's do it.
Come out and cheer it on.
Yes.
We'd love to have a good crowd out there just lining the track to support all these super kids.
Now, where is the track?
The track, great question.
Yeah.
18th and Hollister Whitney Way, Bob Mays Park, commonly known. And so we have obviously went through the council and got the roads closed as we always have. And so that is a 1/4-mile long track.
Now, is it down that hill?
It's down that whole hill. It goes from north to south.
Woohoo!
So
that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, we want to show up. We want to rally for, not only Friday, but Saturday as well.
Yes, exactly.
Rally for all the kids, brave enough to get out there.
That's right.
Everybody who wants to get involved, go show up for the Optimist Club, show up for the Derby, show up for the 60th anniversary. Just show up, because that's what we do best.
Show up, find a member out there wearing our hat or a shirt, and then ask how you can help or volunteer or join our club.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Aiden, always nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Ashley.
Hopefully I'll get to see you this weekend.
I hope so.
All right.
Come on out.
All right. Coming up next, I sit down with DOB to talk statistics and scams. Stay tuned.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be. Before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
And welcome back. Now joining me is DOB. What's going on?
I'm just, you tell me.
Well, so I was just talking to Aiden McDonnell about the Soapbox Derby. Have you ever been to that?
I've not been to the Soapbox.
You got to go this weekend.
They don't fit me.
Well, yeah, me either. But you got to go this weekend because I think I'm going to be an honorary starter. I just figured that out. So. Yeah, I get to hopefully I don't make any of those kiddos.
Does Steve Einiger know this? Because he's a long time
He doesn't,
fan.
yeah, this all just came about.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so that's the good stuff. Bad stuff. Let's talk about smishing, phishing, vishing.
Yes.
All kinds of.
We put it under one banner as phishing.
Phishing,
For Better Business Bureau, for lack of a better term. And you do know the difference between everything. Well, go ahead and
I was just
go ahead and tell the class.
I was just spitting my knowledge here because, for my day job.
So
phishing is video scam, like smishing is SMS, which is like texting, and then phishing would be email. And I'm sure there are others, but those are kind of the 3 main. And I think right now email and smishing, the texting, are prominent.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So we just at Better Business Bureau, we have a gentleman who's based out of New York who does international investigations for us.
Okay.
He takes a look, like a 30,000 foot view of various scams that are going on. So we had reported to us last year in our Better Business Bureau scam tracker a huge increase in phishing scams.
Okay.
Of course, that phishing, everything you just described, we put in a one bucket for
Encompasses
phishing to
all
make
of
it
it.
easier for people to digest.
Sure.
And since the beginning of 2021, we've had, I believe it was 23,000 reports of phishing to our BBB scam tracker, and 9,000 of those came last year. So it's a big increase. So we want to look at maybe one of the reasons for that. Take a look at some of the data that we have, and as you could expect, none of it's pretty for consumers.
Right. Yeah, that's so I wonder how much did you see a spike when like during COVID, and has it subsided at all, or do you see it just continually increasing?
They've gone everything. COVID drove us all inside and online.
Yeah.
So the scammers did BAFO numbers during COVID because they had a captive audience, and we continue to see their scams kind of perpetuate and continue to grow and change.
Gotcha.
The one thing whether it's they try to get you by email, by text. I'm not familiar with any video scams, but they want you to act in the heat of the moment. They want you to think before you act, and we talked a little bit about that last week. And we want you to think and then act.
Yeah.
So they want you to get in the heat of the moment. They want you to think that the common thing that you might see via email is that they're supposedly your Netflix has been compromised or your Amazon has been compromised. And I talk to a lot of people, especially seniors who call my office here in Quincy, who are like, I don't even have an Amazon account. What are they trying to get to me for?
Red flag.
Well, they don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, how'd they get my email? I'm like, well, they just send it out massively. And again, they're fishing. They're throwing out that bait and see who's going to take the hook. So, you've really got to be careful. There's a lot of with tech support scams. We see a lot of those.
Yeah.
And again, a number pops up on the screen where you have to call to contact Microsoft. Well, you're not contacting Microsoft. You're going right to the bad guys. So we just want people to, again, take a step back when they get one of these things, and know that more often than not, it's not going to be something that's real.
That's what I was just going to ask about. When you get a text message that has a link, most of the time, it's phishing.
Correct.
Right.
Never click that link. If you get something, and again, a lot of times, the ones that are most concerning that I get are when I get something from my bank and trying to say my account has been compromised. And, if there's a link on there, the bank is never going to send you a link to go to. If they say, call this number, well, don't call the number that's on that text message. Actually look up the number for your bank and call them that way. People... Again, they just act in haste, and we just want you to put on the brakes and think a little bit before you dig into things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the phishing scams, they do kind of play on your emotions. They either scare you, they make you think you're missing out on something, that you have to act quickly. It is very impulsive. It requires some kind of impulsive action. And if you get that feeling that, oh, I need to hurry up and do this, that's even more of a reason to take a pause, do some digging, do your due diligence to figure out if this is phishing or not. And it is becoming more prevalent, I think, because of, like you said, people being driven inside, but also technology. Mm-hmm. And I can only imagine, and I'm not trying to scare people, but the frequency, especially with AI, and how much easier it is to grab that information and to just spew it out to the masses.
Yeah, scammers love to imitate people in places and organizations. They love to act like they're the government. They might act like you're their social media friend, and they reach out to you that way. And there's a number of ways that they can take over people's social media accounts. Of course, a lot of that we see is through Facebook, because that's the most popular one that a lot of people use. So if you get some type of great offer or something from a friend of yours on Facebook, reach out to that friend first to say, hey, did you really send me this? Because it sounds kind of weird.
Right.
So again, there's just so many. It's coming at us all different kinds of angles. The days of only worrying about the traveling salesman coming and knocking on your door, try to scam you that way. Those are still
there.
On. But there's so many other ways they can get to us. This phone is right in my pocket, and they can get to me any number of ways through a text message or email or anything. So again, we just want to put the warning out there that these phishing reports are way on the increase, and they're probably not going to slow down anytime soon. So there's a ton of information right now at bbb.org. If you're really into it, you can go deep into the weeds and read that full report.
Yeah.
I
have. Some of them are very informative, and of course they piss me off a little bit because I'm like, really, people are really out here doing this kind of stuff, but they are.
And it's really important for you to continue to stay in touch with some of your older loved ones who may not be as technologically savvy. And if they get these types of things on their cell phones, they may be more apt to act on them than somebody who's younger who kind of understands that these things are false.
Yeah. Look out for yourself. Look out for your neighbors, your loved ones, because they're out there.
Yep.
They're going to get you at every chance they can. So, beware, and that's why I'm glad we have you coming in every week.
Go to bbb.org and check it out. And if you have a question, give me a call, 217-209-3972.
Nice job remembering that.
Thank you. I almost forgot.
I know, I saw it. Don O'Brien with the BBB. Always great to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Good seeing you too. Good luck at the Derby this week.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really excited. It should be fun. Yeah. All right. I think that does it for today's Daily Muddy. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for more.